on the road to the Final Four. We welcome you to Los Angeles inside the Staples Center for a Sweet 16 matchup between a pair of Cinderella stories looking to continue fantastic seasons, Indiana and Utah State. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, I'm Aiden Blank. Such a pleasure to share a great matchup with you between the 11 and 10 seeds in this West Regional. Should be a very entertaining matchup. Utah State in the whites, moving from left to right across your screen to start this game. They run the shot clock all the way down to begin this game. This is Porter Jr. off glass and in for the Aggies to get on the board. Starting lineups for the Hoosiers: Finney, Durham, Smith, Jackson, and Brunk. For the Aggies, it is Porter, Merrill, Brito, Bean, and Ketta. Finney, Smith, early three, early hits. Justin Smith, 8 points, 18 rebounds in their game against third-seeded Oregon. And he's off to a hot start so far. But so are the Aggies, an early lay-in, and they take that lead right back. Sam Merrill with 20.8 points. He's averaging 20.8 points in this NCAA tournament. Hoosiers respond, yet to miss a basket. Utah State as well. Nothing has been missed as we warm things up in the West Regional. The winner meets either top-seeded Gonzaga or 12th-seeded Cincinnati in the Elite Eight, of course, for a trip to the Final Four. Merrill pull-up is in, out. First missed shot on either end today. Durham with the pretty handles. His pass is going to get tipped. No, it did not get tipped. It just went out. Utah State with the basketball. We mentioned the Aggies in their first Sweet 16 since 1970. They defeated San Francisco, would go on to lose in the regional final, otherwise known as the Elite Eight that year. Finished just a step shy of the Final Four. That is still the closest they've gotten as a program to the Final Four. Their first turnover of the night, entry pass was intercepted, and on the other end, a huge basket for Jackson Davis as he slams it down and gives the Hoosiers a 3-point lead. Merrill straight away, approaching 7.5 left in this first quarter. Brito down the lane and got it. 7-6, the Aggies pull within one. Indiana's last Sweet 16 was in 2016. Gave up 101 points, only scored 86 against the North Carolina Tar Heels. That was a year they would end up losing in a thrilling national championship game to Villanova. So they would lose to the eventual runners-up all the way back in the Sweet 16. Last time the two double-digit seeds met in the Sweet 16, it was back in 2016. That same year Indiana made it through. They were not a double-digit seed, but Syracuse was, and so was Gonzaga. The Orange ended up going to the Final Four. They were a 10 and 11 seed. Ironically, the same two seeds as we see here today. So for Utah State, you gotta think fate might be on your side. The last time a 10 seed was playing an 11 seed in the Sweet 16. They made it all the way to the Final Four as regional champions. But you gotta beat Indiana, and then either Cincinnati or Gonzaga. Indiana has built a 3-point lead, approaching 6 minutes left in the first. In our live Sim Sports virtual college basketball tournament, Ketta thought he might have had a rebound, but tipped it out, going for it, and Indiana gets the ball back with a chance to build their first double-digit lead of the night. The Hoosiers are coached by Archie Miller, his third season. After 7 with Dayton, his fourth tournament appearance. It is his first with the Hoosiers. He's trying to get back to the Elite Eight for the first and only time since he did it in 2014 with Dayton. 3-ball, and we are tied. Utah State comes barreling back. Each team has had a little bit of a drought, but for the most part has been consistent offensively. We mentioned Archie Miller for the Hoosiers. Craig Smith in his second season with Utah State. His 11th postseason appearance. His second with the Aggies. Basket underneath. Indiana out to a 2-point lead. Spent 4 seasons with South Dakota before heading off to Utah. The Aggies trying to tie this game again, and they will. Into the lane and over a whole bunch of red unis. A really pretty basket to tie us at 11. Jackson into the paint, couldn't get it to fly. He had a whole lot of white unis to battle with. Utah State in their home white. Bet you they didn't think they'd be wearing that this far along in the tournament. Finney commits his first personal foul. It is the first team foul. And that will send Abel Porter Jr. off to the free throw line. Porter finished with just 5 points, put up 6 rebounds and 5 more assists in their second round victory against Florida State, I should say. An 85-76 victory for the Aggies. First shot is in. They only shot 62% from the line, as we see everybody but Finney is subbed out for Indiana. Utah State only shot 62% at the line in that matchup against Florida State. They didn't need it, but it's not like you want to be giving away free throws at this point. Porter is 2 for 2, so a perfect start from him, a perfect start for the team from the line. Approaching 4 minutes left in the first. Indiana with the basketball, down to 4:08 to play. Finney got a screen down the lane. Couple more passes. Long 3 from Green. Rolls out. And Utah State able to wrestle away that rebound. There are big men on both ends as Anderson lays it in on the fast break. Alfonso elevating and laying it in with a finger roll. A 4-point Utah State lead. Approaching 10 to play in the first. Finney for Davis. Straight away, it is Hunter. Jerome Hunter with a long 3 that is off as the time expires on the shot clock. Down the baseline. May have had it tipped into the basket by his Hoosier defender, but Brito has it, and he's got 7 points, just 4 less than the entire Indiana squad. 3 minutes left in the first. Indiana trailing by 6, largest Utah State lead of the night. There's another trip with an empty score sheet for the Hoosiers. That is not the way you want to finish up a first quarter in what could be your final game of the season. Jackson Davis going to commit his first foul. It is the second Hoosier foul. And the Aggies going to go to the line to make it potentially an 8-point lead. They send Alfonso Anderson, who just got his first bucket on that last possession, that last fast break. No points for him, an empty scorecard against Florida State, although he did have 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. But he did not contribute to their scoring. 4 for 4 to start the game for Utah State. Again, a good sign after shooting just 62% in their previous matchup. A timeout for the Hoosiers, and rightfully so. Utah State with an 8-point lead here in the Sweet 16. Again, Aiden Blank, if you're just joining us, we welcome you to the Staples Center. A 19-11 lead after some back and forth play to begin for the Utah State Aggies. Looking to make it to the Elite Eight as a number 11 seed. You remember Loyola Chicago a few years back, an 11 seed that made the Final Four. Indiana, the number 10 seed. Trying to be like the Syracuse Orange of 2016 and make their way to the final stage of this live sim sports tournament. Into the post. Davis trying to body his way around, and another trip without a basket for Indiana. The scoring drought just continues. Tracy Jackson Davis only 1 for 4 to start this game. That's not a good sign, but that is a little bit of hope. A big block. The Hoosiers now trying to erase almost a 3-minute scoring drought. Green pulls up. Can't get it. Another 3-ball that isn't fallen. Only 1 3 hit for the Hoosiers so far. Miller trying to build it to a double-digit lead for Utah State. That would be a good sign. We're inside 2 minutes left in the first. Still very early in this game. But the Aggies certainly taking the upper hand early on. In the paint, Anderson went up with it, and it rolls out. Hoosiers have numbers coming the other way. Down to 1.5 minutes left in the first. It's Green for Thompson and Hunter. Wants his guy in the corner, instead goes back. It's Finney. 3 to shoot. He's going to be forced into another poor shot. Thompson did not get it off. Aggies will take possession. First shot clock violation tonight, although there have been a few buzzer-beating shots on both ends. In fact, Utah State on their first trip down the floor went all the way down to nearly 0 on the shot clock. Porter for Miller. Approaching just 1 minute left in this first. It really has gone by quick. Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of stoppages. 1 timeout, 2 fouls, both of them against Indiana. 5 to shoot. They're playing it loose with a shot clock again. Another poor shot. That one almost went down, but a rebound from Indiana. They're getting the ball. They're having possession. They're having possessions, but they just haven't been able to score. Almost a 4-minute scoring drought now for the Hoosiers. Finney got a screen. 3 to shoot. Entry for Thompson. Hunter pulls up and finally breaks that scoring drought with a long 2. That'll cut the deficit to 6. Inside 0.5 minute left in the first. 15 seconds to shoot. Brito into the post and lays it in. It's back to 8 for Utah State. 20 seconds left, and the Hoosiers, now that they've been able to break that scoring drought, hopefully going to be able to score a little bit more easily, although the Utah State defense has really kept Indiana beyond that 3-point line. Unless it's a fast break, the Hoosiers have not been able to penetrate, and that's something they're going to need to fix. Green pulls up from just beyond the free throw line, cuts it to 6 with less than a second left, and that is how the first quarter ends. So Indiana, despite a long scoring drought, is able to keep it to just 6 points. An 11-10 matchup in the Sweet 16. A 21-15 lead for Utah State. We're back in a little bit. Back from the Staples Center, Aiden Blank with you, and a 21-15 Utah State lead. A double-digit meeting in the Sweet 16. And the Aggies with a 6-point advantage here in Los Angeles. The winner is going to meet either the number 1 seeded Gonzaga Bulldogs or the 12th seeded Cincinnati Bearcats in the championship of this West Regional, the Elite Eight, and the winner will play in the Final Four. One of these teams very well could be there. An air ball from Indiana. They don't want to start having scoring issues again. They just ended a first quarter that did not end so great for them. Utah State, meanwhile, just going to try to keep doing what they're doing. That was a great first quarter for the Aggies. Merrill pulls up and hits. A long three, and he knows it. 9-point lead. That's their largest of the night. Indiana's got to answer. Approaching 9 minutes left in this second. To the basket. A circus shot, no. And Utah State, who has dominated the boards, look for a transition three. They got it. Merrill with another big shot. It is their first double-digit lead of the night. Also their largest, and a 12-point Utah State advantage. Finishing. Hunter, wide open three, and they are trading blows here at the Staples Center. Back down to 9. Eight and a half left in the second. Merrill stolen away. That is their first turnover of the quarter. They had a few turnovers in the first quarter, but not too many. That's not going to be a great start for Utah State. 8:10 left in the second. 7-point Utah State advantage, although Indiana is starting to climb back into it. Miller, a three ball in. And an Indiana timeout. They trail by 10. It is IU's second. Utah State has built it back up to a double-digit lead here at the Staples Center. Back from the Staples Center, Aiden Blank with you. It is Live Sim Sports. And our virtual tournament, the Indiana Hoosiers trailing by 10. No one expected either of these programs to be here, although the Hoosiers, one of the stronger double-digit seeds in the tournament this year. And they've been able to make it this far, so they're not too bad. A missed shot from IU. They have struggled in this game so far. And it was that scoring drought at the end of the first that really got him. Into the post. A foul is committed. Devontae Green is going to get called. It is the third IU foul. They've been the only team in this matchup to commit fouls. Clean sheet so far for Utah State. Devontae Green commits his first. Finney, Davis, and Green now each with one. Utah State 5 for 5 from the line to start. They're not giving away those free opportunities. Inside 7.5 left in the second, and the lead is up to 12. That is their largest. The Aggies with a 12-point lead, inside 7.5 left in the second. It is Brunk. Picks up his dribble to Green and then to Durham. Beyond the three-point line, 5 to shoot. It's stolen by Brunk. A ferocious steal and a transition bucket to give Utah State their largest lead of the night. It is a 14-point advantage for the Aggies. IU trying to counter. Green muscles his way into the post, around and out. Rebound, Utah State. Here's Miller, trapped in the corner, down to 6:39 left. Before a halftime break, a 14-point lead for Utah State. They have been the higher caliber squad so far. They got to shoot. They do. It rolls around and misses. IU able to get a rebound. And a transition three that's off. And another Utah State defensive rebound. They've done very well in that capacity. Here's Merrill. 6 minutes left in this second quarter. To the basket, Green, no. Rebound for Thompson. Indiana has not done terrible in transition. Here's Durham to the hoop, lays it in, cuts it down to 12, and a Utah State timeout. It is their first. So a 12-point lead for the Aggies. They are in control here in the Sweet 16. Back at the Staples Center, Sweet 16 in the West Regional. Our Live Sim Sports virtual tournament. I'm Aiden Blank. A pleasure to have you with us. Aggies trying to get the first basket coming out of the timeout. They cannot. Hoosiers trying to respond. Durham, runner in the lane, and it goes. Down to 10. You want to keep it at single digits. You don't want to take a double-digit deficit into the locker room if you're Indiana. Utah State, though, that might be the case. And that would certainly motivate them to finish in the second half. 5 to shoot. That one a little too strong, and IU pulls it. Other direction, a layup that brings it down to 8. So the Hoosiers on a little bit of a run. Utah State, first bit of adversity they've faced today. They will try to end their scoring drought, as small as it may be. Haven't scored since that timeout. That changes back up to 10, 36 to 26. And Diogo Brito, 11 points. He has been the workhorse early for the Aggies. Here's Green. Approaching 4 minutes left in this first half. Brunk, significant size advantage and a very easy post-up move for him. Cuts it to 8. Bean. Picked up his dribble, nowhere to go. Miller straight up. 8 to shoot. And a nice shot. How perfect was that? The fadeaway for Miller. And inside 4 minutes to play, it's back to 10. Durham. Cross court for Green, who has 5 to shoot. He's still way out beyond three-point territory. Brunk has dominated in the post, and he does again. Another hook shot. Indiana and Utah State trading blows in this Sweet 16 matchup. Winner takes on either top seed Gonzaga or the 12 seed Cincinnati for a trip to the Final Four. Merrill in the lane, off, and a one-handed rebound from Brunk. IU trying to cut it to 6. Inside the 3-minute mark. And now they have a 6-point game. Indiana is on their way back. Joey Brunk, all of his points, all 8 of them in the paint. And another turnover. That's back-to-back turnovers for Utah State. 2.5 left in the second quarter. Thompson. Smith, first post up he's gotten a chance to have tonight. Can't get it to roll off front iron. Utah State with 16 points. Beg your pardon, that's 16 rebounds, averaging about 44 per game. And a foul committed by Indiana. That is their 4th. Don't want to commit many more than that. A 6-point lead for the Aggies. Make it 7 after the first free throw. Another mass substitution for Indiana. That is the second time we have seen 4 players come in and 4 players go out. Interesting strategy imposed by Archie Miller. First missed free throw of the night from Utah State. They're the only ones that have taken free throws. The Hoosiers have not yet gotten to the stripe. Here's Finney, way out at the tourney logo. He's got it again, tightly guarded. Trying to lose his defender. Down low, on the block, and swatted away. Inside 2 minutes left of the second. Bean for Ketta. Merrill to the block. Off. Rebound is pulled by Davis. Transition basketball for the Hoosiers. That has been a strength for IU today. Trying to cut it to 5. Smith in the post. Does not have the advantage. Turnaround. Couldn't quite get the jumper to fall, though that was perfectly pinpointed. Transition for the Aggies. It's Anderson on the low block. Turns around and lays it in off the backboard out to a 9-point lead. Utah State trying to get it to double digits as we approach just a minute left in this first half, which has flown by. 3 timeouts, 4 fouls. Everything else, it has been clean basketball and a beautiful circus shot to cut the lead down to 7. Errol, Porter, Ketta, who had 16 points and that same amount of rebounds against Florida State. And the Aggies come away with another basket, bring it up to 9. Approaching half a minute to play in this second. Here's Smith. Far side. Finney, a screen. Wide open. That should have been a long 2. It was off. 15 seconds to play. Can the Aggies get a double-digit lead? No, it rolls out, and IU's going to take the last shot. Inside 10 to play in the second quarter. Tail end of this first half. Long ball is off, and that is how we end half number 1. It's a 9-point Utah State lead, but Indiana, who had a 3-4 minute scoring drought to end the first quarter, is very much still in it. We will take a short break and be back for half number 2. Set for the second half here in Los Angeles. A beautiful afternoon turned evening. And the Indiana Hoosiers trying to stop that guy, Sam Merrill. 12 points in the first half. He led the Aggies, him and Diogo Brito, 12 and 11 respectively, underway. Final 20 minutes of this Sweet 16 matchup. One of these double-digit seeds will play in the Elite Eight. Jackson right to the rim and cuts the deficit to 7. He had just 2 in the first half. Trying to improve on that in the second. Indiana made it close. Got within 5 in that second quarter. But again, that drought at the end of the first quarter really haunted him. Shot to beat the buzzer, rolls around and in. Buried by Sam Merrill, who's up to 15 on the night. 10-point lead for the Aggies. Finney, pull up and knocks it down. Finney only had 4 in that first half. Now he's up to 6. 3 for 5 from the field. It's Keta all the way out, be near the 3-point line. Merrill blocked, but got it back. Pass to Porter on that far side, down to the block, up and in. Wonderful shot from Abel Porter, up to 6 points. The Hoosiers actually had the possession, the basketball, more in that first half. A foul and 1. Porter commits Utah State's first, and Finney is going to the line. Finney with 4 quick points in the second half, up to 8, trying to make it 9 with a conversion of an M1. As I was saying, IU had the ball for 10 minutes and 43 seconds. Utah State only 9 minutes and 16 seconds, but they made that time count. IU also had more fast break points, 8 to Utah State's 7. 48-40. Porter for Bean and Brito. 3 ball off. Almost got tipped back in. Indiana on the fast break. Smith lays it in. IU with a fast break bucket early. Justin Smith up to 7 points on the night. Porter inside 8 minutes left in this third quarter. Gonna decide who moves on to the Elite Eight. A long 3. That is Merrill's second. He's got 6 in the second half, 18 overall, and a 9-point Utah State lead. Finney feed to the corner, a screen for Durham. Very forced 3, and it's off. A rebound for a guy who had 8 in the first half, Neemias Queta. Approaching 7 minutes left in the third. This is Merrill on the block. He was blocked, and it goes out off of Utah State. Hoosier basketball trying to cut it down to a 6-point lead. Nine-point Utah State advantage. Indiana trying to cut it down. Here's Brunk. He has the size advantage. They could use him a little bit more. He finished with 8 points and 4 rebounds in the first. 5 on the clock, and a long 3 is off. Utah State, fast break. They do not have numbers. Basket can't roll as Bean went down the lane and missed the shot. Indiana again trying to cut it down to 6. That's really as close as they got it. They actually got it to 5 in the second quarter. Finney, 2 to shoot. Brunk has to heave up a 3 and almost knocked it down. No, Smith pulls the rebound, fouled and 1. Bean commits his second. Beg your pardon, his first, the second team. And Indiana will send Justin Smith to the line. He's got 9, trying to hit double digits yet again. He had 18 in their matchup against Oregon, along with 8 rebounds. He's got himself another free throw. 10 points for Justin Smith. Utah State trying to counter this early Indiana flurry, which has cut it to 6, maybe now down to 4. They can't on the fast break. Approaching 5.5 left in this third. Here's Brito. Feed for Brito again, and he's blocked underneath. Opposite way to the rack and missing the shot. But Indiana's going to the line. Sam Merrill commits his first. It is the third on Utah State. And off to the line goes Devontae Green. Only 2 for him in that first half. He'll try to bring that total up to 4 with a pair of free throws here. The first one around and in. So it's down to a 5-point lead. Trying to get it inside of a 5-point game for the first time since the first quarter are the Hoosiers. They cannot. Too strong. 5:25 left in the third. Opposite side, a 3 and a transition basket. That was huge. Miller hits it. He has 8. Into the post for Jackson. He has the size advantage, can't get the bucket. As Bean got his hands in there, a block on the other end. Another miss from Bean. Beg your pardon, that was Ketta. Pair of easy baskets he could have gotten. A foul underneath. There's been bad fouling underneath from Utah State. And the Aggies are going to have to clean that up. It is their 4th foul. And off to the line again goes Devontae Green. He misses his first. Was 1 of 2 just moments ago at the free throw line. Second from Green is Pierce, so he's 2 for 2. He now has 4 on the night. And the lead cut to 7. The Hoosiers trying to keep it in single digits. And they certainly came out very strong. No doubt what Archie Miller was telling him in the locker room. If you want to win this game, and you still can, you have to start strong. Be assertive. You're Indiana. They haven't been here since before all of you were born. Basket inside, and it's 54-49 as Brunk gets another. He's up to 10. He had 4 rebounds in that first half. Brito thought about it for the free throw line. Here's Miller to the hoop, lays it in. Brock with 10, 5 in this half, inside 4 minutes. This third quarter has flown by. Here's Green, near side. Off a screen, loose, and a turnover. Indiana does not do that much. Brito trying to slow things down. 10 to shoot as Merrill goes down the middle of the paint, pulls up, and hits. And it's back to a 9-point game. Merrill has a pair of 3s and a 2 in this second half, for a total of 20 on the night. Smith bodying his way through and laying it in to cut it to a 7-point game. 3 baskets and a free throw for Justin Smith, and a Utah State timeout. A 7-point game. Not much has changed, but Indiana has come out strong in this Sweet 16. We're back from the Staples Center, a 7-point game in the Sweet 16. Aiden Blank with you on Live Sim Sports. Winner plays for a trip to the Final Four against either top-seeded Gonzaga or 12th-seeded Cincinnati. A 3 coming out of the timeout is off. And Indiana trying to get that first bucket, maybe cut it to 4. As we mentioned earlier, they have not been able to get it inside 5 since the first quarter. Smith trying to take his man himself. It was loose. Picked up by Hunter. Long 2, rolls out. Inside 3 minutes to play. Now approaching 2 minutes to play in the third. And a fast break layup. Bucket from Brito. His first basket of the night. His first field goal. Only 4. Beg your pardon, that is 13. I misread that. His first bucket of the second half, and muscling his way through on the other end is Justin Smith. He's now up to 9 in the second half, a total of 14. He's having a great second half. 7-point game, it's Brito. To the block and back out. 8 to shoot. Miller. Over everybody, and no foul was called. Indiana coming on the other end. They did very well in fast break in the first half, I should say. A missed shot approaching a minute to play in the third quarter. Merrill. Doubled in the corner, back out for Ketta. Drives to the rack, and the height will help. 62-53, they can get it to double digits. As Neemias Ketta goes to the line. No points in the first half. That was his first bucket of the game. He did have 8 rebounds in that first half, though, so he made up for that. But when you have a guy that is his size, you have to have him contributing. And if Utah State wants to really contend for a championship, which at this point, if they can win, they'll be one of 8 teams still left. They very well could contend for a championship. They're going to need him to contribute. And there's no reason this Aggie team couldn't win. There's no reason this Hoosier team couldn't end up in the Final Four or a national champion at the end of this whole thing. To the near side, a ball for Finney. Inside a minute left in the third, 5 to shoot. Finney a screen, pulls up, in and out, but a rebound that saves it. Brunk with Ketta, probably the more even matchup for him. 30 seconds left in the third. 2 to shoot, and they bury the triple. It's Jerome Hunter, his first basket of the half, and it's now down to just 6. Brito off, rebound for Brunk. He's going to have a tough matchup with Brito, but he certainly can hold his own. Smith is blocked. Time will expire as Miller puts up a half-court heave that is way too short. We are going to the fourth, and a 6-point lead for the Aggies. Just minutes from a trip to the Elite Eight. Set to go in the fourth quarter. And we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game. And it comes from Utah State's Abel Porter. Gives it to Diogo Brito, who lays it in. That is our State Farm assist of the game. Fourth quarter is about to begin. Archie Miller trying to get his troops to put in that extra effort and tie this game up. 10 minutes is all that stands between one of these teams and a trip to the Elite Eight. 15 to shoot. The Aggies get the ball to begin the quarter. It's Porter, reverse underneath, and lays it in. 8 overall for a guy who usually is hitting in the double digits, so it has been a down game for him. But Utah State is winning, so it's not all that bad. 5 to shoot. It's Brunk who gets himself in there. He is going to have to come alive in this fourth. Another basket for him. That brings him up to 12. Brito. Brunk got his hand in there just enough so he could miss the shot. Bean. Back around. You can see Utah State does not trust their big men to go up against Indiana's. Porter in the backcourt, a half-court heave, and he got it! What a shot to beat the shot clock horn. 67 to 58. Brito just threw up a prayer, and it fell. A 16-point game for him. 9-point lead for Utah State. 3 from Finney is off. Aggies a chance to make it a double-digit ball game. Porter. Bean couldn't get the N1, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2. It is Indiana's first team foul in this second half. They committed 4 in half number 1. Bean to the line, 16 points, 16 rebounds in their previous game against Florida State. Again, these two teams knocking off number 2 Florida State and number 3 Oregon to get to this spot. Bean hits his first, and it's out to a 10-point game. Bean has had a quiet night. A foul to his name, but only 3 points. One of which you just saw. Trying to make it 4. And he will. 2 for 2 from the line. And now Indiana, trailing by 11, really needs to step on it. Every possession, they gotta have a bucket. Smith. Jackson in the post. Has a height advantage. Durham has the 3. And it's down to an 8-point game as A.J. Durham hits it. 9 points for him, but that was his first bucket of the second half. Inside 8 to play in the fourth. Hoosiers trying to hang on and upend Utah State. Technically speaking, it would be an upset. The cross lane pass is intercepted, and on the turnover, a pretty move and an even prettier bucket to bring us down to 6. It was up to 11, and the Hoosiers bring it back to not only single digits, but just 2 threes. And of course, Utah State answers with a bucket of their own. 8-point lead for the Aggies and a timeout for Indiana. They have 3 left, and they trail by 8. Utah State thinks they might have a chance to go to the Elite 8. We'll find out in just a bit. Final 7-18 of this ball game and an 8-point lead for Utah State. Hoosiers trying to answer. Davis into the paint. Has hands all around him and can't get the hook. Merrill on a fast break. Got it. No foul, but he'll take it. Sam Merrill, a pair of 2s, a pair of 3s. Total of 10 in this second half, 22 in the game. Brunk into the corner for A.J. Durham. Takes the 3, hits the 3. That was big. Durham with his second 3 of the half. He has 9 on the night. Merrill down the middle of the lane. Someone got a hand to it in red. Finney between the legs and back around. It's Smith for Durham. Got a screen. 6 minutes left in the fourth. 5 to shoot. Brunk has the height advantage once again and gets the bucket once again. It's down to 5. You can never count this IU team out. Once again, Utah State thinking about putting it away, but IU comes surging back. Brunk has 6 in this second half, and now Utah State back to a 7-point lead. It's getting close to do or die time for the Hoosiers. 5.5 to play in the fourth. Finney pulls up. Finney can't get it off back iron. 75-68. Utah State on top. Here's Brito. To the post for Ketta. This time he has the height advantage, but he can't get it. He was too far out. To the near side, this is Finney. Inside, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Smith off balance and off the mark. Transition basketball, it's Brito. Picks up his dribble, tried to go up, he was blocked, but Ketta got it. Utah State gonna take some long possessions now. Merrill, pull up from the line, off, another rebound. That's their second offensive rebound of the night. And a bucket for Justin Bean. 6 on the night for him. Durham for Finney. 4:10 to play in the fourth. Finney. 2 to shoot as we hit the 4-minute mark. Smith, a turnaround ball, no. A bucket here, and it's back to double digits. End of foul. Jackson Davis, his second personal. It is IU's second. And once again, the lead to double digits. Utah State has played a phenomenal game. Very little mistakes as Merrill heads to the line. "26 points for him. And he knocks it down to convert the three-point play up to 27. Inside 4 minutes left in the third, 80-68. Same score as it was when the clock hit 0 in Indiana's last game. Trying to make sure it is not their last. A bucket inside and a timeout, Utah State. IU cuts it down to 10, but just 3:32 remaining. Back in a bit in the Sweet 16. Sam Merrill is our Jordan player of the game, and no doubt he has made a huge impact. 12 in the first half, and a total of 27 for number 15 in white, and a number of assists, too. He had our assist of the game, and now he's our player of the game, trying to make sure that his team does not come out on the losing end of things and will fight to play at least one more game. Again, the winner is taking on either Gonzaga or Cincinnati. Porter stripped away in the post. IU has come out hot off of basically every timeout today. Could this be different? Here's Finney, Davis, and Smith. To the free throw line, pulls up inside of it, rolls out. IU has not done too well with those mid-range jumpers. They're better off with a 3-ball or hitting it to one of their big men down low. Luckily, Utah State, not much better. A missed shot inside 3 minutes to play, and a 10-point lead, cut it down to 8. A bucket for Durham, who now has 14, and IU still hoping there might be a little bit of May magic left. 2.5 to play in the fourth. Another trip without a bucket. Every possession, IU has got to score now. Durham, Finney. 2:15 left in the fourth. Smith, one-handed off. Now to the 2-minute mark. And Merrill. Brito at the free throw line. Porter had space to shoot it, but wants to drag out this possession a little longer. We'll see that a lot from Utah State in these next few minutes. Off. Davis pulls it. Another chance for Indiana. Smith. Blocked. Numbers for White. Can't get it. And another chance for Indiana. Things starting to heat up. 1.5 minutes left in the fourth. An 8-point Utah State lead. Off again, and another Utah State rebound. Those last 3 possessions for Indiana, they had to score on at least 2 of them. And that may have cost them the game. A long 3 is off. Utah State is just throwing up shots. They have not been able to hit their baskets either. They're giving IU these chances. The Hoosiers not capitalizing. Down to 1 minute to play in this game. 8-point lead for Indiana. Starting to get exciting here at the Staples Center. To the post. Foul. Could have used an N1, but they'll take any points. Bean commits it. His second. And the 5th for Utah State. They cannot foul. They don't have any to give. 51.9 to play in the fourth. You can see the Staples Center ready to erupt. It is a packed crowd. Waiting to see if the Hoosiers or the Aggies move on. Down to a 7-point game. This is Joey Brunk at the line. 15 for him. Trying to make it 16. And more importantly, cut it to a 6-point lead. He will. How long does Indiana wait to foul? Down to 48 seconds left. Can they get another missed shot? It is Merrill. Has space. His pass is going all the way out of bounds on the other end. IU will get the ball in their front court. They will use a timeout. They have 1 left. Archie Miller wants to talk it over. And Utah State clinging to a 6-point lead. We'll finish it up when we come back. Biggest point of both these teams' seasons. Utah State, a 6-point lead. Indiana, the basketball. Just over 40 seconds left in the fourth. What a night at the Staples Center. Finney off the timeout. No, it is around and a rebound for Utah State, and the Hoosiers cannot wait anymore. They have to foul. It is Smith who commits the crime. It is only Indiana's second, so they have some to give. Smith is going to have to foul again, and he will. It is Indiana's third, and that'll send Sam Merrill to the line. He hit a free throw in his last attempt. He has certainly been an impactful player for the Aggies so far, and he hits his first. .26. Make it 27 for number 5 in white. 82-74. What a night for the Aggies, trying to make the Elite Eight for the first time since 1970. They might just do that. Smith, off balance, no. The Hoosiers will call off the Dogs. The shot clock is turned off, and Utah State is ready to party like it's 1970. The Aggies are still alive, and they're going to the Elite Eight. The Hoosiers made it close at the end, but a 4-minute scoring drought in the first quarter may have been decisive. The Aggies are moving on. We are saying goodnight. 82-74. In the West Regional, for everybody at our Live Sim Sports crew, I'm Aiden Blank. Have a great night.
I believe. I believe.
I believe.
I believe that. I believe that.
I believe that we.
I believe that we.
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.